Hey folks, welcome back. I'm your host, RR Slugger, here with today's question. Can I make a video about sand red better than Mayday figs? Probably not, but if this premise sounds familiar, it's likely because I attempted the same challenge last summer, albeit with sand purple. This year, General Trex stepped up to the plate and sent all the sand red elements I was previously missing to my P.O. box, specifically so that I could make this video a reality. Please join me in thanking them for making this possible. This one's for you. Sand red was a LEGO color first introduced in 2001, along with sand purple, sand blue, and sand green. Technically speaking, that last color actually debuted 1 year prior in the Statue of Liberty set, but I think it's safe to say that these four colors were conceived of together, likely as a sort of palette refresh for the new millennium. In reality, the refresh wouldn't come until a couple of years later, when the financial woes of the company were truly acknowledged internally. I've said it before, but the transformation that the LEGO Group underwent between the years of 2003 and 2004 cannot be understated. Many of the colors and molds that were previously relied on were retired in favor of a more streamlined approach to get the company back on track. As a result, however, this magnificent muted quartet of colors would not survive the decade together. Sand purple was the first to fall. Having only been featured in 4 retail sets, it arguably had the smallest impact of any of the sand colors. 2001 to 2002 is a heck of a short production life for a LEGO color, and it's understandable why many LEGO fans today think it deserved better. Unfortunately, our topic of today shares a similar fate. Sand red just barely weathered the storm of the palette refresh, but ultimately succumbed to its injuries in 2004. It lived just long enough to coexist with the new grays for a single set before being snuffed out. If you look at Bricklink, I think you'll get the impression that sand red was a lot more prevalent than it actually was, given how many listings are here. In reality, though, it was only included in 6 retail sets, and only half of them utilized the color in any significant capacity. Today, we're going to examine every single piece released in this color, and talk about the sets that featured them. You might even be surprised where some of these pieces are from. Let's start where nearly every discussion of LEGO sand colors start, with Life on Mars. This series is the genesis of sand red, and like Rock Raiders before it, I get the distinct impression that the LEGO Group hoped it would be a smash hit, given the intense marketing and R&D they threw at the project. Sadly, Life on Mars was not the big hit they wanted in 2001. That would come from elsewhere within the company. Actually, come to think of it, I'm kind of shocked that Bionicle didn't make use of sand red or sand purple. I feel like they would have fit some of the original Rahi designs pretty well. Even the colorful collage that is Galador never dipped its toes into sand colors. Unsurprisingly, sand red's biggest champion comes from Life on Mars, 7314 Recon Mech RP. This beautiful behemoth showcases 8 of the 31 total sand red pieces LEGO ever produced, so let's quickly run through them all. Parts 6259, 3839, 4150, 4859, and 32000 are all set exclusive. 2540, 3037, and 2412 can all be found elsewhere, but nonetheless remain quite rare, like all sand red pieces. Save for the 2x4 slope brick, there isn't a whole lot here that strikes me as all that useful in a general sense. Many of these molds are specialized to a degree that limits their reusability. The same can be said for the parts included in set 7317 Aerotube Hangar. Only 6 sand red elements appear here, 5 of which are set exclusive. The grill tile was previously found in the Recon Mech RP, but parts 30536, 30359, 3298, 4589, and 4286 all lived and died with this epic Martian command base. This final piece, the 1x3 slope brick, is actually the only element to appear in all 4 sand colors. This is where their legacies intersect. Sand Red appeared within 2 sets in 2002, though appeared might be too strong a word. Cameoed might be more appropriate. 7103 Jedi Duel contains a single pair of modified plate pieces with bar handles, and that's it. Barely a footnote for Sand Red fans. 4730 Chamber of Secrets is far more noteworthy, as it contains the only minifigure to ever use this brick color, Professor Lockhart. Now, Harry Potter is a franchise I hardly talk about on this channel, largely due to the ongoing awfulness of its creator, but Lockhart is frankly unavoidable in a discussion surrounding this color. That being said, I don't know the source material that well, and his face print and hair combo is actually giving me stronger Steed Bonnet vibes from Our Flag Means Death. Like, it's kind of perfect? There isn't really an ideal torso option in LEGO's current repertoire, but this one seems close. Definitely the right color at the very least. Anyways, relieved of his likeness, we can give this regal attire a new owner. I think you'll agree that Dr. Cyber can rock these duds just as well. Honestly, the printing on this torso is just immaculate. The paisley vest with gold accents really gives this a sense of class, and the sand red fabric cape is just icing on the cake. 2003 would only see one retail set released that included the sand red color, and this one is fairly well known among Star Wars fans. 4478 Geonosian Fighter contains a pair of sand red battle droids designed to blend in with their desert surroundings. This was the only set to include any of the elements that they're comprised of, and it would be hard to imagine a better matching color to the source material. As such, you can only imagine the prices they go for on the aftermarket. Interestingly enough, Sand Red would also receive its final hurrah with another LEGO Star Wars set the following year. 4501 Mos Eisley Cantina, the last set to feature Sand Red, also features it more prominently than arguably any that came before it. In this set, Luke's classic Landspeeder was updated from its original tan color scheme to sand red, and depending on which color grade of the movie you're watching, this can be a change for the better or for the worse. To be honest, I have no idea what color Luke's Landspeeder should be. From some screenshots, sand red looks spot on. Others, the more modern nougat color looks more accurate. And when we look at the original filming model, I can't help but feel that they got it right the first time with tan and red. Regardless, the sand red Landspeeder is completely unique, as no other LEGO iteration before or since has depicted this hovercraft in this hue. Because of this, all 5 of its sand red pieces are exclusive to this set. Parts 6636, 3031, 3795, 2357, and 30565 all call the Dune Sea home. By the way, I just want to say how ecstatic I am to be showing off this set to you all right now. This is one LEGO Star Wars set I've always wanted, but could never really justify the cost. This summer, however, the support for the Summer of Slug has been considerably strong, allowing me to make video production decisions like this more easily. Thank you to everyone who has donated this year. If you've been keeping track at home, we've now covered all 6 of the sets that contain sand red within them. This should mean that we've looked at all 31 pieces, but we're still coming up several short. Where could the other pieces possibly come from? Well, if we rewind back to 2001, we can actually find a number of different service packs offering sand red elements for direct purchase. Parts 3001, 3003, 3004, 3009, 3039, and 3041 are all exclusive to these service packs and are quite difficult to acquire in any meaningful quantity. Lucky for me though, Trex hooked me up with the last few I was missing. Unfortunately for collectors, the parts included within these rare service packs are likely the most sought after, as they have some of the most generically useful molds. For as amazing as it would be to construct a building or bridge out of this color, I think that will have to remain a dream for many, myself included. While I'm saddened that sand red, or sand purple for that matter, didn't have a longer time in the limelight, I also completely understand their retirement. They were both colors seemingly fabricated specifically for one LEGO theme that then had to fight for relevance during the worst possible time in the company's history to have to do so. In addition, they're simply way too visually similar to each other. I like the nuance that having both offers, but if I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible, LEGO probably made a mistake signing off on the two of them. From a practical standpoint, I think Sand Red has a greater number of use cases, and by greenlighting both, LEGO may have inadvertently doomed both as well. Neither one was able to prove its strength individually, unlike their Sand Blue and Sand Green counterparts. This is purely speculative, but had all the instances of Sand Purple actually been Sand Red instead, we might not be talking about a retired color today, but rather a niche color that managed to survive long enough until masonry bricks could carry it the rest of the way. I know that might be a tough pill for sand color fans to accept, but I think there's some merit to that train of thought. Seriously though, it's a crying shame that Sand Red was struck down before masonry bricks existed. There has possibly never been two more destined star-crossed lovers than this pair right here. Oh Romeo, oh Romeo. Thanks for watching everyone. This video was brought to you by the folks who support me during the Summer of Slug, especially those subscribed to my Only Slugs tier. Folks like General Trex, who is double dipping with their support this year. Thank you so much for making this video a reality. Reese, who recently helped make our Time Drifters live stream something special. I really recommend checking it out if you haven't done so already. Canto 20 the MiG-23, and anytime I read this username, I can't help but imagine a Pokemon at the controls of a fighter craft. Mig, Mig, Mig! Luke the Duke 424, who has been watching my channel for a long time. I mean, a long time. Thank you for the years of support. Sinister 5988, and anytime I see a 4-digit number, I look it up on Bricklink. I don't think you'll be disappointed by this one. Little Pardue, who is apparently over 6 feet tall, not as little as we were led to believe. Mathieu H., who is a French-Canadian working abroad. He tells me his first set was the Scorpion Tracker from Adventurers, and what a great first set that must have been. Leona Hart, whose favorite space theme is insectoids. Leona tells me that they'd love to see a Creator 3-in-1 space base set, and I've got to agree, that sounds rad. And lastly, Mahi, who narrowly avoided making me say a username unbecoming a slug. Suck my udders? These folks and many more deserve our thanks for making the Summer of Slug a reality. If you'd like to pitch in and show your support, the links are in the video description. I've been your host, RR Slugger, and I'll see you next time for another video.